Right, let's get to it. The Ashanti Regional Minister, Simon Osei-Mensah, says intelligence received by the Ashanti Regional Security Council pointing to threats by the youth of Ejura to burn state and private property after the burial of social activist Mohammed Ibrahim, also known as Kaka, forced him to deploy the military and police personnel to the town. The minister told the three-member committee tasked to investigate circumstances that led to the shooting to death of 2 protesting youth at Ejura last week that the law establishing the Security Council grants him such powers. The committee, chaired by an appeals court judge, Justice George Kingsley Kumson, will receive evidence from witnesses to ascertain the cause of the violence and to make recommendations to the president. Simon Osei-Mensah, who was the first witness, told the committee the deployment was sent to maintain law and order.
On the family of the 2 who died during the incident, and Kaka, who also clubbed and died, all the 3 families, we visited them. During the visit, the Minister of Interior gave some money for the initial expenses, even though we had been informed by Ejura that he had also paid for some of the initial expenses. While the amount, 7,000 to each of the families, so 7,000. From there, we visited the 3 families of the injured. Unfortunately, we met only 1. The remaining 2 were still at the hospital. The one we met, if I remember the name very well, is called Nuhu. But I've forgotten the other name. He was injured in the thigh, and it had been bandaged. So he went to Ejura Hospital. He was treated and discharged. So we met. The remaining 2 were still at the hospital. And as I speak, 1 hour is still at Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. The other injured was sent to Duayang Nkwanta Hospital. Actually, I've not been there.
Mr. Osei-Mensah also said the security agencies were pelted with stones and other missiles, forcing them to respond to the protesters, some of whom sustained serious injuries. He's, however, unable to tell who fired the shots. Now we can go live to our colleague Erastus Asare-Donko, who ended his session before the committee a while ago. Erastus, thank you for your time. How did it go, and what was the committee interested in finding out from you?
And I must say, you are the ones supposed to tell me whether it went as expectation or not. But I think truth is truth. I told them what I saw and what my team witnessed during the protest leading to the shooting by the military. And they wanted to find out. In fact, there was that back and forth with the committee concerning the caption, which showed on TV. And they were referring to the fact that Kaka was referred to as hashtag Fix the Country campaigner. And he was asking me whether I have independently verified whether he was a member of the hashtag Fix the Country campaign. And to say it as it is, in fact, I don't know the modalities for being a member of the Fix the Country campaign. I don't know whether indeed people have to fill forms or that.
Right, we're seeking to re-establish connection there with Erastus Asaridonko of Love FM, who has just completed his time as a witness before the committee set up by the government to look into the disturbances at Ejura that occurred last week. Disturbances that resulted in several citizens being shot, 2 of whom have passed away. Erastus, if you can hear me on the phone, let's pick up from where we left off. You were explaining that the committee was interested in whether or not you independently verified the membership of KAKA of the Fix the Country movement.
Yes, exactly. And I think the back and forth at that period was about whether I have independently verified. And I told them, yes, we spoke to the family relatives, the family and relatives of Kaka. Some of them said, well, he's not a member of any Fix the Country campaign. He was just not happy with unfulfilled promises and some of the issues concerning development in Ejura. There are others who said that, yes, he supported the ideals of Fix the Country campaigners. And I personally do not know whether there are modalities you need to go through, the criteria itself you need to go through to be a member of the Fix the Country campaign. I until now, did not think that it was an institution where you needed to apply to get a particular permit to be part of. And so, and the issue was about the tag or the caption added and the description of Kaka as a Fix the Country campaigner member, which I did not see whilst I was on the field reporting. You know, these flags and captions are not visible to me whilst I was on the field. So I was trying to let them know that, in fact, if somebody added that tag in Accra, our editorial policies would have covered that. And indeed, it goes through a lot of channels before something is put on air. So I will not be in a position to explain a decision taken in Accra whilst I was on the field, which is on my blind side. That was what I was trying to let them understand. But aside that, I think they've asked their questions, they've probed into our coverage, what we saw, we put it forward, they asked their questions, and I think we've been able to tell them our side of the story.
Are they done? Do they need any further information from you, or did they exhaust all of the questions that they had?
Well, they are done. They said they were going to invite me back after they've seen the videos. In fact, we gave them all the videos that we had that day, quite a bulky you know, supply of footage from the disturbances, from the protests leading to the shooting. And they are going to peruse that. When they are done, if need be, they will invite me back to ask some further questions. Until then, we are here in this Prempeh Assembly Hall auditorium waiting for them to come. But they are supposed to close at 4, so we do not know whether the sitting will continue or they will come back and we'll call it a day and continue from tomorrow.
Were they interested in the assertion that the protesters were armed and were attacking the military? Were they interested in what you saw in relation to that claim?
No question was asked. And I was expecting that question indeed. I was expecting that question, that the press release that came from the police initially, which indicated that some of the protesters carried firearms. I was expecting, and that they attacked the military. I was expecting that question to be able to give our side of that narrative. But then it did not come up at all as part of the questions to be asked. And that's what I'm a bit surprised about.
Mm. Well, for now, it would appear that you've done your duty. For the benefit of those who are just joining, can you tell us where the committee is holding its hearings?
So we are here at the Prempeh Assembly Hall. It's closer to the Zongo police station, and that's where we are currently. The sittings are held behind me over there. The committee members sit on the top and the witnesses sit below the platform behind me. Currently, we are on recess. What we do understand from the committee secretary is that tomorrow they will be inviting leaders of the security agencies that were at Ejura, and so it's possible we'll hear from the commander of the troop that went there and from the side of the police as well. We do not know who specifically they are inviting, but they tell us that it will be members of the security agencies. So we are expecting that, and sittings start at 10 and end at 4. So currently we are waiting. It's 3, beyond 3. We are waiting for what they will tell us, whether sittings have officially come to a close today or we still should be expecting somebody to come before the committee.
What's the experience like, sitting before the committee members? Is it intimidating? Is it nerve-wracking? Does it feel like you're going through a process that has far-reaching implications? Tell me personally how it felt to go through the questioning.
Well, certainly to have all the TV stations and the media pointing their cameras at you and sitting lonely there is nerve-wracking. As to the questions or whether I felt like being interrogated, no. I think that I was telling the truth. And if you're telling the truth and what you saw, certainly you don't need to be nervous. You just have to say it as you saw it, and then everything naturally comes to place. So a bit nerve-wracking in the beginning, realizing that the whole Ghana is watching you. I think it's a bit intimidating, but then as to the line of questioning, I think it's fine. We told the truth as we saw it. We risked our lives to report the truth. We brought the footage to all through the multimedia eyes for people to see what happened at the Ejura. And I think that is what we repeated today, and as our civic responsibility, I think we discharged it fairly.
Well, I have no sympathy whatsoever for you, and having all eyes on you. It happens to you every single day in your job, Erastus. You work for JoyNews. The world watches you anyway. Thank you. Thank you so much for that update from Kumasi.
Grateful, Kojo.
Erastus Asaridonko there. He's just completed his time before the committee that is looking into the disturbances that happened at Ejura last week. Disturbances that have resulted in 2 people dead from gunshot wounds after the military opened fire on the protesters.